Welcome to episode 4 of Beat the League. Our targets have been surpassed, but how far can this Newcastle United side go? Let's find out. Welcome back here on Anderzbaz FM, and if today is your first visit to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and you will not miss a future episode of either this Beat the League series or our Tier 11 to the Top campaign. And obviously if you enjoy today's content, please hit the like button, throw some comments down below, let me know what you think of the series so far and how far you think this Newcastle side can go. And as you can see here, we are 26 games into the season, 12 left, and we are currently sitting third. Our points total of 56 is already higher than that of the real Newcastle side at 52. So I think our targets of finishing higher than 11th place are well behind us. We have surpassed those. But where will it end? Champions League, UEFA Cup, just outside Europe? Who knows? I know I'm hoping for second or third in that Champions League qualifying spaces, which is where we currently sit. But today we have got a tough game against Leeds away at Elland Road. They've fallen off the pace a little bit recently. They're down in 7th. They were up in the 4th and 5th sort of places. They were ahead of Tottenham at least last time we were here. They've fallen off the pace a little bit, but are still a dangerous side, especially at Elland Road. So it's going to be a tough fixture. But before we get into that, let's have a look at what's been happening since the last episode. So, as you can see, there have been a lot of games since we had that 11-goal thriller away at Manchester United. And obviously the 1-0 victory at home to Sunderland in the Tyne Weir derby. Since then, it's been a pretty decent run. It started out a little bit shaky, but once we got into the new year, things have had a bit of a turnaround. We started out with a 2-2 draw away in France against Lyon in the final group game of the Champions League. That put us through comfortably in first position. I think that was already assured before that game anyway, but it was a 2-2 victory. And then we followed that up with another 7 goals in a league game, this time away at Hillsborough and Sheffield Wednesday. It was back and forth. We led, they led. We tried to claw it back, but they went 4-2 up, and a late consolation from Ferguson was not enough. Ferguson got a brace, Shearer got another league goal. He's back in a bit more form now, but we lost 3-4. Bit of a shame there. And then we faced Leeds, who are our opponents today, and as you can see, it's going to be a tough fixture because we could only hold them to a 2-2 draw. We led twice, but they kept pegging us back, and then in the end it ended up being 2-2. Probably a fair result, all things given. And then Boxing Day, 4 days later, we went to Goodison Park and managed to just about claw our way past Everton. They took a lead with 20 minutes to go, and it was 2 late goals, Rob Lee and Kieran Dyer on the score sheet, and they just about got us ahead, 2-1 in the end. And then the final game of 1999, before the new millennium, we hosted Arsenal, and it was a disappointing game. Danielson got himself injured. Arsenal took a lead on the break of half-time with an Upson header, and we could not fight back in the second half. 1-0 defeat is not the way to end the year. The new millennium started in similar fashion. So we hosted high-flying Derby in the FA Cup third round. And, well, as you can see, they took an early lead. Shearer pulled one back, but a second goal for Derby was enough. The FA Cup's not our focus, so I wasn't too worried, but it was kind of symptomatic of the form we were in one victory. Since that Sunderland game, it's been a bit of a tough run, and it continued. We went to Villa Park after a 2-week break, and it was a dull, goalless draw, 0-0. Pretty disappointing. You'll notice, however, on the team sheet, our new signing, Giovanni van Bronckhorst, 9 million from Rangers, the Dutch international left-back. I think he's a very good addition to the side. He's got some lovely technical ability, some good mental stats and physical attributes as well. He is a good addition down that left-hand side. I think that left-hand side now is probably the strongest side of our pitch with Danielson and now Van Bronckhorst. I think it's a dangerous pairing. He's still only 25, he's still young, and he's got a lot of ability. That 20 passing stands out to me. for a left back. He's got some good end product. He's good going forward and defending. So I'm pretty impressed with this signing. We managed to snap him up for 9 million, and I think that's a good piece of business, especially when you consider that his value now is well over that. He's now at 13.5 million. So a good piece of business, but it didn't help us in the Villa game. But when we then took our next league game away at Wimbledon, we went to Selhurst Park, and Kieran Dyer was the difference maker in the second half. 1-0 victory, and that was the start of a strong run of form. We hosted Southampton next, and Alan Shearer got 2 goals against his former club, a brace for Talisman, and it was a goal in each half. A late goal to put things beyond doubt. We were getting a little bit edgy, and Danielson came back from injury and immediately went back on the sidelines, and Van Bronckhorst picked up a light knock as well, which left us going into an Everton game, who we beat 2-1 in our run of poor form. A little bit weaker in the starting 11, but Shearer was still there. He got 2 goals, a quick 2 goals in the first half to pull back from a Barnby opener, and it was enough to give us another 2-1 victory against the Toffees, the second of the season, to end January on a good run of form. And we started February even better. We went to Stamford Bridge and absolutely knocked the socks off Chelsea. New signing Yara Littmanen got a goal in the beginning of the second half, but by that point it was 3-0. Solano and Domi both got a brace, and Shearer picked up the 5th with 15 minutes to go to round out the scoring and give us a comfortable 5-1 victory. And then we went back to St James's Park to host Bradford. 3 goals from Ferguson, Shearer and Solano. No doubt whatsoever who was the better side there. And the 3-0 victory was definitely worth the price of admission. We then had a friendly against Getafe during the international break, which we won 3-0 as well, which leaves us now here on the trip to Elland Road. You'll notice in the Champions League we've been drawn against Galatasaray, but obviously the league is our focus, and this is how the league is currently sitting. United are still top. They've got 2 defeats so far this season, but 66 points, 7 clear of rivals Liverpool, and then we sit in just behind, 3 behind Liverpool, 3 ahead of Arsenal, but they've both got games in hand, so it could be a different story once they've caught up. Obviously behind us there's a bit of a gap behind Arsenal, down to Tottenham, Middlesbrough and Leeds, all separated by a point, with Chelsea leading the best of the rest down in 8th. At the other end of the table, Watford are pretty much gone. Sheffield Wednesday don't look much brighter, and then it looks like for the final place it's going to be down to Bradford and Leicester to see who will get relegated. You'll notice, after our early concerns about his league form, Alan Shearer is now up there on the goals scored chart, 15, only behind Michael Owen, who's got a phenomenal 22 in, I'm assuming, 25 starts. Let's have a quick look at Michael Owen. I imagine he's going to have a fantastic polygon, and yes, he's got a pretty... That speed is just 20 acceleration, 20 pace. What? It's incredible. 22 goals from 25 starts, 7.66 average rating. He is a beast at just 20 years old. But let's get into things for today's episode. Let's have a look at the 11 who will be travelling to Elland Road, and pretty much a full strength side. Danielson and Van Bronckhorst are back from their injuries. Given is obviously in goal. The defence of Van Bronckhorst, Dabizas, Howie and Pistone. Midfield, Danielson, Maric, Dyer and Solano. And up front, Ferguson and Shearer. So if we win this game today, I think we are going to be pretty much locked in for a top 4 finish. And I want to keep us ahead of Arsenal. Maybe even challenge Liverpool. But today it's all about Leeds. So let's get into the action. Okay then, so it is kick-off here at Elland Road. And once again, technical difficulties have meant that the camera has disappeared in the bottom corner. But we will go without it. And that is a fantastic start. Who needs to see my face and reaction when we start games like that? Silvio Maric has scored in 17 seconds. What a finish. Now, the ball is worked. Maric is involved in the build-up. He finds it to Pistone, who finds Solano inside. Back to Maric. And it's all through the midfield. A 1-0 straight away. That is how we take Leeds to task and show that we should really be in this top 4 battle and not down in the battle for the UEFA Cup places. Liverpool have gone ahead as well. Michael Owen has got yet another goal. But as things stand, the gap to second remains at 3 points. Obviously, with the United still plenty clear at the top, and Liverpool having a game in hand on us. And that header there from Garcia goes just wide, and suddenly Liverpool are now 4 goals to the good. Michael Owen has got another at least. They've gone from 1 to 4 in about 5 minutes. We'll see that at half time. See what the timing actually is for those goals. But Van Bronckhorst throws it into Danielson, out to Dyer, and all the way across to the other side of the pitch with Pistone and now Solano, who looks inside for Ferguson. A lovely back heel to Maric, who threads through Danielson, but his shot is blocked by Woodgate. Liverpool 5 now. Van Bronckhorst puts the ball into the box, finds the head of Solano, but it goes narrowly over the bar. And we are 24 minutes gone now. And things are looking like all Newcastle. We're only on balanced as well because we're away from home and Leeds are a dangerous side. Maybe we could be pushing towards positive to really get a second goal if we need it. But with half an hour gone, that is not the case so far. And we've got another highlight here. Shearer has come onto this near side to collect the ball, but Bastone's ball into Maric and finds Shearer once again into the box. His shot is not a shot, it's a cross, and Danielson's found the back of the net. And that's 2-0 as Liverpool goes 6 up already against Watford. There's goals galore today. Danielson gets his 13th of the season. It's a lovely ball in the end from Shearer. I thought it was a shot and was wondering why it was so awful. He's actually found Danielson at the back post, who volleys home, and that is 2 goals to the good. And Newcastle are flying high right now. Just before half time, things are looking safe and sound. In fact, this Leeds side has got plenty of memorable names. So we've got Alan Smith up front, a midfield of Kuehl, Bowyer and Batty. Nigel Martin obviously in goal, Hart, Dewberry, Woodgate and Kelly across the back 4. If you're familiar with late 90s football, which I imagine you probably are if you're watching this video, that is a memorable side. And as you can see there, Michael Owen has got a hat-trick to extend his lead at the top of the goal scorers charts. And Liverpool are winning 6-0 at half-time. So we are well into the second half now. 10 minutes gone. We've got another highlight as Liverpool have now gone up to 8-9, in fact, nil against relegated, all but relegated Watford. The goals are coming, it's gone to 8-9-7. They've got a lot of goals at the beginning of the second half, and Maric very nearly gets his second of the game, and it's gone agonisingly wide. It's at least 9. Who knows what is actually happening at Anfield? If they get into double figures, that will be just incredible. We've got a free kick here. Solano puts it into the box, and Dabizas gets his first goal of the season, and that is 3-2 Newcastle. But really, comparing that to the Liverpool game, this is a poor performance. But Leeds are obviously a better side than Watford, so I'm going to take some solace in that. We've got 3 away goals here, and they've all been excellent. We're going to get to some substitutions in a second and see how the game is going to finish. So 3 changes made. Speed, Gavilan and Gallagher on for Solano, Dyer and Ferguson. And we've got another highlight here as we advance down this left-hand side with a throw-in. Van Bronckhorst finds Danielson, who finds Gallagher. Back out to the Dutchman, inside. Ball into the box. Can't quite find Shearer's head, but Danielson's going to have a second chance. Van Bronckhorst puts another ball to Gallagher inside. We're just trying to work the way a little bit too neatly into the box and ending up not actually getting there. And Leeds are going to break on the far side. A lovely ball through the back line for Garcia here, but he can't get a shot away. McPhail, however, does have the ball towards the byline. Can't get past Howie, and Van Bronckhorst heads it clear, but only as far as Michaeland, who has a lovely strike there into the bottom corner to make it 3-1. That was a poor clearance in the end from Van Bronckhorst. He had plenty of time to do something with it. And what he ended up doing was pretty poor. A lovely strike, though, and that's 3-1. 20 minutes left in the game. I dread to think what's happening at Anfield. I think it's still 9. We haven't seen any further updates, but who could tell? I'm looking at the goal difference down there, and I think it still is 9-0. I'm talking more about the Liverpool game than I am at this game, because this game is beyond doubt as well. 10 minutes left, and 3-1 is looking like it might be the result. And indeed it is, as we get through the last seconds of stoppage time, and the full-time whistle has gone. Newcastle have ended up winning 3-1, but that pales in comparison to the 9-0 drubbing at Anfield, as Liverpool put so many goals past Watford. Michael Owen ended up getting 4 in the end, and Fowler got a hat-trick as well. Just incredible scenes, really. 9-0, and that keeps them comfortably clear of us at the top. 3 points clear, with United a further 4. And poor old Watford down there, 13 points from 27 games, and now a goal difference of -39. It's looking tough for them to stay in the Premier League. But so far, so good for Newcastle. We'll see how the rest of the fixtures shake out, but it's going to look like United and Liverpool at the top, with us sitting third, and Arsenal with a couple of games in hand just behind us. So we can just get confirmation here of Silvio Maric's goal in that Leeds game of 16 seconds into the match, which bests his previous record of 17 seconds in the game against Manchester United, which was in the last episode. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to score 5 goals in this one, but we thankfully didn't concede 6 as well. There you go, 16 seconds is the new mark to beat, and I wonder if he'll beat that in the next episode. He seems to be quick off the mark whenever we are recording, and seeing if he can do it once again. So here we see the league table, and it's getting a bit tighter at the top. Man United are held in their last game against Wimbledon, so they are still on 67 points, whilst Liverpool, who have got a game in hand, are just 5 behind. So if they win that, the gap is down to 2. We are a further 3 behind them in third place, but Arsenal are breathing down our necks. They've got 2 games in hand, and 6 points is the gap. So if they win both of their games, then things are level. Spurs are now up to 5th, getting a little bit of a gap between themselves and Borough and Leeds. But Leeds have still got a game in hand on both the teams above them, so that could be a little bit of a different story by the time things all wash out. And down at the bottom, poor old Watford are looking gone, and Sheffield Wednesday are probably joining them. The last relegation space is going to look like it's going to be between Leicester and Bradford. If we just have a quick look at the Division 1, and you can see Blackburn are flying high, 82 points to Birmingham's 67. It's not going to be long until they have secured themselves at least a playoff spot, if not automatic promotion. But Blackburn looking to bounce back up at the first time of asking, which is obviously something that we all love to see. So they will be joining us in the Premiership next season. But let's have a look at the schedule and see when our next episode is going to be. Obviously, we're not bothered about Europe unless we get to the Champions League final, which obviously will be shown on the channel. But I think the next episode is probably going to be this Spurs game here. They're in 5th. It's an away fixture. I think that will be a tasty game to watch. So we'll come back for the Spurs game, and then all being well, the last episode in the series will see us face Liverpool and then Derby on the last day. Maybe we can take it to a decider for that second place as we face Liverpool on the 9th of May, but things will probably already be sorted by then. And so that's where we end things today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed things. I certainly have. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Goodbye.